I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose, and welcome to the second part of making a mini journal of joy. If you haven't seen the last video, you'll find it is the last video I've released on YouTube, where we started off with doing some jelly plate printing on book pages. And I've absolutely loved seeing all of the other pages that you've all been creating, so thank you for sharing those with me. Today I'm going to be using water-soluble pencils. Regular pencils will be fine, but I absolutely love using water-soluble ones, and my favourites are the Stabilo Woody pencils and also the Derwent Inktense pencils. Watercolour pencils would be fine for this too. Because I'm going to be getting these pages quite wet today, the one thing I have done in between is I've added a coat of gesso to the backs of ones where I haven't really got any paint on them at all. So even if I've just got a little section here, and I've used Daler Rowney acrylic gesso. White acrylic paint should be fine. It's just I know that these pencils have a habit of seeping through the paper if you add lots of water to them. So yeah, I just spent a few minutes preparing those. I've also got a few blank book pages that I haven't started on yet that I've also put some gesso on. So today I'm mainly going to be focusing on mark making, and again I want to focus on marks and colours that make me really happy, because when we fold these all up to make a journal, I just want them to look absolutely joyous and something that I can't wait to work on. So with each page in here, I'm going to decide whether I want to do something else on the front or on the back. And I don't want to do these pencil marks on the back of all of them, because I also want to do at least one more video of creating backgrounds on our pages, and I'm going to be doing that with watercolour. And I want there to be variation, so if I'm working on the back of these, I'll probably work on the back of something like every other one, something like that. That one, I think I'm fairly happy with the front as it is. I could add some more details on there, but I think I'm just going to go straight onto the back of this one. And one thing I like to add is lots of contrast. So I'm definitely going to be using some blacks today, because I think that will look really nice when we're flipping through the journals, to have some contrast there to work on. Going to pop a little bit of newspaper under here, and I'm already starting to think now about which way the pages are going to be in my journal. So I'm going to start off with something really simple, and I'm going to be using my black Stabilo Woody pencil, and I'm going to be dipping it into a glass of water. And I absolutely love the bold marks that you get from these. So I'm just dipping it in, and I'm going to draw some big bold lines across my page. As I said, really quick and easy, but this is why I wanted that layer of gesso, just to hopefully make sure that nothing, or certainly not too much, seeps through onto the other side. And these black lines might make nice little writing spots. Could perhaps somebody thinking about how I might want to use it, perhaps with a paint pen or something like that. I could write in between those lines. That would look nice. Or just a regular pen. Let's say, because we've got so many bright and beautiful colours, a little bit of black contrast should look really fun in there. You get such a lovely deep black from these Stabilo Woodies. Okay, so that's the first one done. I'm going to pop that to one side. So I know I've already done the back of one of the pages that I'd worked on. This, I love the front of that. I don't want to add anything else to it. I've got a bit of colour on there, so it's not going to be great for adding watercolour to. So again, I think I might add something on the back of this one. I'll perhaps use my Derwent Inktense this time. And you can dip these in pencil as well, but I think what I might do is do some nice kind of big flowers on this one. Just going to add a quick little bit of shading because I'll be using a brush in the water to blend those out in a minute. So really, as before, just adding anything which feels joyful and playful to you, really. Okay, so I've got my paintbrush. I'm going to dip that in the water and just blend these out. Really not worried about anything perfect. These are just going to be so fun though. And both the Inktense pencils and the Stabilo Woodies I find stand out really well on other backgrounds. It's why they're one of my favourites to use. And I think what I might also do with this one is add some little crosses in a blue Stabilo. Maybe see if I can get a few splashes off as well. Okay, I think that will do for that one. So with this one, I've got two kind of partly decorated pages. So I might add watercolor to that side in next week's session, but for here, I might add some splashes of yellow. I think that would be quite an interesting colour combination. And I haven't gessoed either of these, so there is a risk it could go onto the other side. But it's a lighter colour, so hopefully shouldn't cause me too many problems. So just really quick and easy to do. Just going to give us some really beautiful backgrounds to work on in our journals. Okay, this one I think I'm going to leave for watercolour on the back. So I might just add perhaps a little bit of something on the front over these. You can see I turn to these Stabilo Woodies a lot. So I'm going to add a bit of variation, not just the lines this time, but perhaps just do some little crosses through that line. Again, I just find this sort of thing so relaxing to do, and knowing that at the end we'll have a journal full of our special or favourite colours and marks. Just lots of fun. Okay, because I've left the back of that last one blank, I'm tempted to do something on here. I think maybe again I might do some lines, but I might do a grid shape on this one. It's my my birthday in a few weeks, and because I love these Stabilo Woodies so much, I have just ordered myself a little birthday present of the Stabilo Woodies in the pastel colours from Cult Pens as well. Absolutely love using them. So again, I haven't gessoed this page because I had some paint on the front and back, so I am running the risk this might come through a bit. Yeah, you can see a little bit there, but nothing too drastic. Okay, and then I think I might use this bright green to add some going in the opposite direction. So I know they're going to mix together because of all that water on the page. And I'm already starting to think about what I want to put in this journal. So I'm thinking photos perhaps of some of my favourite places or happiest moments, quotes that I love, lyrics from songs that I love, perhaps lists of books that I've really enjoyed reading, TV shows that I've enjoyed. Anything like that will be great to put in here. Okay, so I'm going to move that to one side. Okay, so I've got another two here that have got nothing on the back. So I want to do something on the back of one of them. So I might just add something to the front of this one and then leave the back for watercolor. So let's just do some little looped shapes. With these Stabilo Woodies, they're waxy kind of crayons, so it's something to be aware of. They're not going to be easy to write on top of at all. So on top of these, I will probably be creating writing spots or adding photos. So on the back of here, I think I might do some hearts. See, I keep going for the woodies rather than the Inktense, only because you can fill up so much space with them so quickly because of how big they are. And I will wet these in a moment to activate them. But yeah, just feel free to go with your kind of favourite shapes, colours, patterns. Anything goes for these. I love how vibrant they get as soon as you add water. I've done a few different projects using the Stabilo Woodies for Cult Pens actually, and theirs have been sort of doing they call it Woodies windows, where you use the Stabilo Woodies to decorate your windows because they wash off with a wet cloth absolutely fine, and it's so much fun for that sort of thing as well. So I think I've done Christmas decorations in the windows using them. I think I did a spring type one as well with daffodils. So definitely lots of fun. I think these might look nice with some kind of purpley stripes as well. So I'm dipping that Inktense straight into the water, the same as I did with the Stabilo Woodies. You just get a kind of softer effect than you would if you were just using regular pencils. Makes it a bit less perfect in a way, which I love. So nothing complicated with these at all. I just really fancied a project that would just be just fun, no pressure, just give us a chance to kind of get our supplies out and play a bit. Okay, I think that will do. Okay, so I've got my last two here that don't have anything on the back at all. So I think I might do the back of this one and perhaps add something on the front of this one. I wonder if this colour would show up well enough on this background. Let's have a look. It's actually one of my favourite colours to use. Oh, okay, that's showing up okay. So again, just some little circles, but I might draw some lines between these ones. I'm getting little splashes of the paint as I move my pencil. I'm fine with that. So yeah, I might just draw a line, kind of joining them together. I've also ordered some of the water-soluble Neo colour, I think they're called pastels, for my birthday, which I'm looking forward to trying out. I've never worried about having them before because I've got the Stabilo Woodies, and as far as I can tell, they're probably quite similar, but they are less chubby than these and they've got some more colours, so I just thought they would be fun to try out. Okay, for the back of this one, I'm thinking it might be nice to have some watercolour kind of drips coming down the page. So I'm just putting a thick layer of that down. And I'm going to add lots of water and see if I can encourage that pigment to travel down the page. So I'm adding quite a lot of water to this. This is one of my gessoed sheets, thankfully. So I'm just going to tip that up and see if I can get that to run down. Oh, certainly it has. I'm just going to add a little bit more water in places. Okay, and it's got quite a bit of paint that's dripped off onto there, so I think I'm just going to tap it down, smudge everything around and see what we get. Okay, I think that's really pretty. I definitely know I'm going to want to add something else onto that though, but I don't think I'll do that today. I think I'll leave that to dry. That might be something I add some watercolor to. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that one for now. And now what I've got left is 3 book pages that I've just gessoed one side of. And I quite fancy some that are just got lots of leaves on them. I think I might just use the 2 different greens for this. And that again might be something that I come and add some watercolor to around those leaves, or draw some more black lines across. I'm not sure. I am tempted to do more of one of with just the black lines on. I just find it really enjoyable having that kind of contrast when you flip through the journal. So I think just nice and quick and easy again, add some more lines. And then I might finish off with one more with some really simple flowers on. But I'd love to know how you're getting on with this project and whether you're finding it fun. If you're on Instagram and you haven't shared your pages so far with me, please do. I'm at Journal with Purpose over there. I'd absolutely love to see how you're getting on with it. I think I'll use the Inktense ones this time. So I think my kind of thought process at the moment is that we'll have at least one more session making these, or decorating these background pages. Then we'll have one where we'll decorate the cover and decide, I think, which pages we want to go into the journal, because we might well have some left over, which is going to be absolutely fine, because when I've done this sort of thing before, I use these types of papers for doing in my collage and art journal all the time. But it's just really good to have a nice selection to be able to look through, and we'll be able to decide, say, how many pages we want in it, how thick we want that journal to be, and bind that. Then I think I'll probably do another video of some examples of putting that journal to use, so how I'm going to create on these backgrounds. And if I've got some spare papers left over, I might even do like a little art journaling one using some of those papers as collage, because they're such a great way to kickstart an art journal page. So that's kind of what I've got in my head at the moment, but it could change. I just want it to be one of those projects I didn't really think too much about in advance, because I just overthink it and end up not doing it. So yeah, I just wanted something that was going to be really quick and easy, and I can play with how many episodes we have in it and things like that as we go, rather than try and plan it all out too much. So I'm just adding a couple of different colours here for the flowers. Okay, I'm gonna just add some water to these. Again, these Inktense colours are absolutely beautiful. Okay, and while they're still wet, I think I'm going to add some stems coming down. I'm going to dip the Inktense into the water this time. It's going to mix slightly with the wet colours in the flowers. It's absolutely fine. So this already feels just so joyful. And then maybe just some nice kind of big leaves as well. It's quite nice because in a lot of my journals I'm quite neat and quite precise, so it does me good to also have some projects where kind of we're aiming with working on the opposite thing there. Okay, well I think that will do us for today. I'm going to try and bring some of the papers over whilst I'm talking, but they are quite wet and I don't want them all to run into each other if I can help it, but I thought it would just be good to have a little reminder. So we've got the flowers up there, got some leaves, got my little grid page that's drying over here. Got two of the different black stripes. Got another florals with the blue crosses there. We've got some of the little curved lines that are almost train tracks. We've got the green drips and splashes. I think just a couple more. Then we had, yes, some of the little yellow circles there. On the little pink circles and lines there. So some of them, because they've had a lot of water, gone quite subtle, but they're going to be just beautiful for working on in the background. So I really hope that you've enjoyed that. One thing while I'm here, well, two things actually. One, I'm working on a free class for my Teachable channel, which is going to be all about colour mixing, and I should be sharing that with you hopefully within the next few days-ish to let you know that's available to take. That'll be free of charge. Also, I've been working hard over on my blog over the past few months to get lots of free printables on there. And I might well be using some of these actually in my journals, in my sort of journal of joy later on, just as some of the background patterns. There's envelopes, writing spots, there's a brush lettering workbook up there, doodle guides. I didn't mention it very often, so I made a little note to myself to make sure I mentioned it. My website is journalwithpurpose.co.uk, but I'll leave that linked down below. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're having fun with yours and that you're doing well. I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.